So as we're here, we're enjoying some good breaths. And I'm going to guide us for a moment through a little sequence to help us relax our body even more. And so as we're doing this guided relaxation, just let yourself feel any part that I name. And as I name it, if you notice any tension in that area, try to allow yourself to just relax through that. And so first, we're relaxing through the toes, the feet, the calves, the thighs, low back, upper back, the shoulders and arms, the neck, the head, especially the jaw and the forehead. So as these deep, full breaths are flowing in for us, we check in with how we're feeling at this moment. If we imagine that the worst somebody could ever feel is a negative 100 and the best someone could ever feel is a positive 100, just imagine, where am I at this moment? Sometimes there's heaviness that's been going on for us. So this could be heaviness in our physical body. This could be heaviness in our emotions, hard things in our family, hard things at work, just stress or feeling overworked. All these things kind of weigh us down and make it feel like we're vibrating at a lower frequency. Like our cells are a little bit more dense, a little bit more solid. And so as we're here, beginning to prepare to travel into our class, just imagine as we travel through all over our body and stretching and strengthening, moving through all sorts of goodies. Imagine that you're helping those cells to feel a little bit better. That number that you chose, by the end of class, we're hoping to have raised it quite a bit higher than where we are right now. That'll be the idea that leads us on. So let's begin some nice initial stretches, starting off that journey. Let's stretch the arms all the way to the back wall. And let the shoulders wiggle all the way to the right and all the way to the left. Some good movements for our spine, left and right. Good chances to arch, to get into those the lateral body, the side ribs. Good. So then coming back through the center, let's hug our hands around the right knee. Maybe a couple of ankle rolls for that right foot. Then at your rate, at your pace, when you're ready to stretch that right leg up to the sky, let it have that good expansion, that good extension upward. Then hook this right heel all the way to that back left side. It's like a pigeon pose. Yeah, you'll just hook your foot over to that left side, all the way back by where the ear is. Yep. When you've hooked it, continue to slide the shin in closer to the heart. That gets us really nicely into that right hip. Another good inhale. Exhale, free out this leg. You're gonna stretch and drop it all the way down. Second knee comes in. Give it a hug for a moment, a couple of ankle rolls. Sending the leg up to the sky when you're ready. Maybe another deep breath into the belly. And exhale, hook this heel. This foot is going to the back right side. That section clear by our ear. That really quick. The other side, I'll hook the foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take another good breath into the hip, just a huge inhale. Exhale, release, maybe give it another tug. And then when you drop it down, at first leave the legs inside and we'll start heading toward a very easy back bend. We'll progress it toward a deeper one. But at first, just slide the fabric down toward about your armpit area. You can have the hands gripping up high as you let the head rock back. But maybe even just the tops of the shoulders starting to arch. Good. Head back in, clasp the hands around the backside of the head, and continue to tilt the chin in toward the chest, stretching through that neck area. Good, and then sitting up just a little bit so that the fabric can fall down to kind of toward the low ribs, like the middle waist area. Then when you get to that spot, you can keep the grip as you slide your back bend just a little bit deeper than before. We'll have one more option, so don't feel like you have to go all the way to your deepest spot yet. One more breath in. Then exhale, head up. We'll come to stretch all the way over those two straight legs. The knees can be a little bit bent or they can be all the way straight. It's really up to you and what feels good for your back right now. Notice that as the head drops down toward the knees, the upper back and the neck is able to get a nice stretch. Good. And then kicking the legs free off the front, we'll head to our third back bend. Slide our hands all the way down. This time the fabric can be all the way down almost at our hips. Then as you continue to head backwards, you can choose to keep the grip the whole time. You could choose to let go, or you could even choose to try to grab onto each of your feet. So it's up to you how deep you go. It's also up to you how long you stay here. Maybe a couple of breaths and you come up, or maybe some of us will be a minute or two. No rush. Just enjoy this chance for the heart to open backwards. So often we're hunched forward, and that kind of closes off the heart space. So that can be one of those things that makes our vibration feel more dense. So just keep it open as long as your head, neck, shoulders, and back are loving it. It is an inversion, so don't feel like you have to stay super long. The head does take a little bit of a toll, just being lower than the heart. It's good for the cardiovascular system, but yeah, when you're ready to come back up, you can hook your elbows, wiggle your shoulders forward. That'll keep us nice and safe in that floating child while we give the head a chance to be upright again. Okay, starting to sit back up. From here, we'll bunch up our hands around the fabric of the side that, well, let's just everybody go to the left side first. So bunching up the fabric to the left side. Your left shoulder is starting to turn toward your back wall. So that continue to let that left arm open up to the back wall, or even circle all the way around the back side of the head. So nice, easy twist, easing into our spine. Good, release from that side, bunch up the fabric to the other. And then now it's your right arm that opens to that back wall or circles around the head, whatever feels better for the shoulders, the neck, the side. Another good breath in, inflate your lungs. A nice exhale. Good, and then you'll keep the fabric bunched up to the side that will face you toward me. When you have the fabric bunched up like this, lock your arms straight. Your hip starts to lift, so the leg that just got lifted, swing that leg up and over. Good, we'll get each leg inside of the fabric. Extend each leg nice and long. And for where we're headed shortly, we do want our entire foot to be inside the fabric, and we want the fabric to be more or less even. So if you notice that you're completely different from one side to another, the thing that you can do to help adjust yourself is grab up high on the fabric, kind of do almost like a pull-up for a second so that you can lift the glutes off the fabric. When you lift, the legs straighten out and then they go to that perfect spot. So then from that perfect spot, open the legs wide, the arms are pressing outward to help it out. Beautiful. Let the knees bend for a moment. The bottoms of feet rest together. A nice little meditative seat. You can rest the forehead forward or the back of the head backward, whatever feels nice. Just feel these easy breaths. It's like any tension, any stress that we have in our body is kind of rolling off of our shoulders, off of our neck, off of our fingertips and toes. It's like here we are, just a relaxed blob in a nice cocoon. Good. So from here, we're going to prepare to come up to a standing position. So you want to double check your feet are all the way inside the fabric, right at that edge. That'll be what helps make it so that when we stand up, we don't have to readjust the feet because it doesn't really work to readjust the feet when you're standing. So keep the heels in close to the glutes, but lifting the knees up, try to pop the knees free out of each end. Good, so once you've got it popped, it's like your little bug on its back. So now reach your hands up super high to the fabric that's in front of you. And then we're going to come to a low squat. So as you continue to pop the knees out of the fabric, we've got our toes underneath us now. You got it. Good, you want your head to be free so that you're not pitching your head backward into the fabric. So Laura, is it looking like it's gonna work? Let's see. Yep, let's see if we can lift the glutes up and come to kind of like the low squat. Like super close, try to pop your knees out first. Yep, that's it. So this is the low squat prep. So then from here, reach your hands even higher and then just stand directly up. Good, try to make sure your head doesn't get caught. There you go. Beautiful, so the side that faces you forward, you're going to start to face to that direction. So that means that the shoulder that's currently forward needs to come behind the fabric. So you'll, yep, just like that. And then your hips will continue to face forward. From this position, we can head towards splits. So you'll let one leg go forward, one leg back. When we've got our armpits trapped on the fabric, this prevents us from going too far, so this is perfect for beginner. Only if you know you want to go deeper, you can shift the fabric to be on the inside and then head it just a little bit deeper. You would have to hold yourself up a little bit more for that one. Got it. Good. Beautiful, one more breath. And then squeeze your inner thighs together. We'll switch it out. So grip back onto the fabric that was in front of your body at first. And then you're gonna switch it out. The other shoulder goes behind. This will face you away from me. When you've got that, start to head toward the splits. If you wanna readjust to grip on the inside, that is safe still. Good. Squeezing inner thighs together. Let's face back to the front. So facing back exactly like how we were starting, you're gonna grip one hand on each side of the fabric. It's like the end pieces of it. So then from here, what we're going to do is try to lower back down to sitting as slow as we can. So you've got a good grip, your arms are ready for some strength. So then continue to let the legs go wide. And then just as slowly as you can, you'll settle your hips all the way back down. Good. From this spot, hands go to the outer fabric to help push the legs wide. And we're gonna do a little sequence here with a nice exhale, the legs squeeze together. Because the legs are stronger than the arms, you're still able to get the legs to touch. Once they touch, inhale, the legs are relaxed, so then the arms presses right back open. So nice exhale, squeeze. Inhale, open. Let's take another 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. So from here, let's slide our right hand down the right leg. Stack your left shoulder, reach the left arm up and over. And rising up, switch sides. So left hand slides down left leg, then right arm up and over. Beautiful. Rising back up, free the legs out of each side. The leg that's closer to me toward the front of the room, take that leg and place your ankle and your shin and that shin area right onto the fabric in front of you. So this swivels the knee out to the side. This gets us into the hip again. So this is a choice of how difficult you want this to be. If you lock your arm straight, that would make it so much easier on the hip. If you want to go deeper, relax away from that or even hug in to pull it tighter. Choose that perfect spot for the hip. Good, we'll head to the hamstring. So bunch the fabric back up. The foot that's up, you take it into the gathered fabric so that it's the arch of the foot holding on, and then continue to slide that foot upward. This will get us into that hamstring nicely. Again, if you lock your arms straight, it's easier. If you start backing your arms away, it gets deeper. So you choose that perfect amount. The knee can be bent if needed. Another good inhale. Exhale, free this foot all the way out. The second calf and shin comes up. Got that hip opener. If you want the hug, that's great. If you want to just relax, that's beautiful, whatever you like. One more good breath in. And exhale, we'll get to the gathered fabric, place the arch of the foot on that gathered fabric, and then slide the leg up the strand as high as you can get it. Another huge inhale. And exhale, we'll free this leg to the front. You'll start to shift your hips left and right until you're facing back forward. Good. And so here we're ready to do a nice inversion. I'll guide you through an easy diaper wrap pose essentially. If anybody would prefer to do, if you know vampire already and you prefer to do that one instead, you have my permission as long as you know it and you're safe to do it. Otherwise, do this one with me nice and easy. You'll take your thumbs and you'll grab the fabric that's behind you. You're pushing the fabric to the back side of the pant line. That's more or less where we want it to be. So once we're there, feel free to start heading backwards. It's like a tabletop sign. You're welcome to grab that one to make sure you're safe. When you're at that nice flat plane from here, the only thing you still have to do is just spread the legs wide as you tilt backwards. That'll make sure you don't fall out. And then wrap your ankles and you are safe to let go. Try to kind of scan through the spine and see how much of the spine you can just relax. If I've got hands on the floor, I usually like to keep them wide so I'm not adding tension to the shoulders. You also could clasp your hands behind your back or do little shoulder stretches. You've got options here. For my body, I tend to get the most out of this when I keep my breath slow and just continue to imagine my spine getting longer and longer. grab by your inner thighs. Just unwind the feet. So inner thighs. Yep. And then unwind the feet. Keep that same resting pose, elbows. If you're still upside down, take your last 4 or 5 breaths. No rush, but eventually you'll head up. Good, and here we'll take a couple of bonus shoulder openers while our head is still readjusting. So bring both arms to the inside. You're stacking your right elbow on top of your left elbow, and then inching your arms back to give yourself a big hug. So you're walking your hands as far back as possible, maybe touching your shoulder blades. When you've got them like that, that huge hug, start to round the spine backwards, kind of turning it into the figure C as you drop the elbows down toward the thighs. Head is also heavy. We're stretching that whole upper back area. Take another good breath in and out. Release the fingertips. As the spine rolls up, the hands fall away. Backs of hands are together in front of your body. Circle those hands up. And then trying to avoid the fabric, rotate the thumbs outward and drop down. Good, reverse that. So hands come up. And then rotate backs of hands together and continue to circle forward. Good, let's do 2 more like that. Up and rotate back. Returning forward. One more. And return. Good. From here, left elbow stacks on top of right. And then walk your fingertips backwards, giving yourself that hug, trying to touch your shoulder blades. Again, spine rounds down, drop the elbows down toward the thighs, head relaxing down. Let the fingertips start to drop away. We round our spine up and the hands fall down. And then 3 more cycles with the arms. Backs of hands together in front of you. Circle up. Rotate back, thumbs go out. Drop down. And return. 2 more. Last one. Okay, grab your hands onto each side of the fabric. We're gonna lift our hips all the way up and out. Leave the fabric where it fell over the shoulders. Give the fabric a huge hug, so hugging from the outside, circle around your head. And then go in that direction 1 more time. So this will wrap it around our wrists. From here, keep that grip tight and start to sink your hips backwards. So legs are straight, spine is straight, but the hips are like a hula hoop outward. Good, start to circle the hips over to the right side. You'll feel the side body starting to stretch. Continue to go forward, feel that nice heart opener. At your own pace, you can go to the left and back. If your fingers need a break right away, come out. Otherwise, maybe go a little faster, a couple of times to that same direction. And whenever fingers need a break, just come up for a moment, open and close. Good, we'll try to do a slow round to the other direction and then we can go faster. So leaning back, go over to the left, pause, eventually forward, to the other side and back. And if you want to do those hula hoops a little faster, that's great. Know that you can bend your knees to make it easier on the back or straighten your legs to make it deeper. It would be a deeper back bend. Good. So keep going again until your hands need that break, and then this time just unwind and shake. Whenever you finish, no rush. You're welcome to come all the way to the back side. Grip on about as wide as shoulders. This grip can be super light, so it's mostly like the thumbs holding it up. So then from there, just start to lean forward. Some days my spine just wants intuitive movements here, so this could be kind of like a cat-cow undulating through some of the vertebrae. This could also be kind of wiggles laterally, so left and right. We've got lots of options. Then from here, purposely, we're gripping just a little bit tighter. Purposely bend the right elbow downward. And then that straight left arm will continue to lean to your right side. So let's get this nice and deep. Maybe you're feeling it all the way to your hips, maybe up to your shoulder. Let your feet and knees do whatever they need to do to be safe. Good, both arms straighten out through the center. Take it to second side, bending that left elbow down. Good, right back through the center, bend the knees. Let's roll our spine all the way up to stand. Let's take our right foot inside of this gathered fabric. Good catch. Sometimes it's balancy, so that's okay. Good. You're welcome to grip as high as you need to have that balance. This might be an amazing stretch already, in which case you don't have to do anything. Otherwise, you've got two options. You could slide down. This brings heart closer to thigh. Or sliding up, you could do the splits, just sinking forward. It's really your preference based on how your body feels right now. Yep, just let the foot do whatever it needs to do to be comfortable. Good. Squeeze your inner thighs together. You're coming back over your standing foot. And from here, we're going to start facing our toes to the left edge of our mat, that long edge. So start to face to that direction. We've still got our leg trapped in the fabric. So what I like to do is slide my right hand down closer to the leg and then left hand slide up the same strand. Set it up like triangle pose. The shoulders can be stacked. Again, this could be an amazing stretch, or maybe you continue to sink more weight forward like a side split. And coming out. From here, slip the fabric down to the thigh. And we'll take tree pose. So that foot that's dangling now, set it up to your left thigh. Tree pose here, you can use the fabric to help you balance the whole time. I know sometimes socks are slippery, so just do what you can do. It's okay if it's like closer to the knee or whatever. There you go. So you can grip onto the fabric, or if you want to try your balance without, you can let go. For me, since I've got that support under my thigh, sometimes I even play with balancing with my eyes completely closed here. So you can try that out and just grab the fabric if you lose it. Good. Open the eyes if they were closed. We're gonna head directly to Warrior Two from here. So before we head into it, just open the arms like Warrior Two. So one arm forward, one arm backward. And that front arm, push the tricep backwards into the fabric. So that's exactly where it stays. And then just start to sink your weight forward until you start feeling your inner thighs stretching. Good. 2 more good breaths. And then hands grab back on. Reach up high and then rotate onto your toes. And there we are, we're facing forward again. Let's sink forward. We're stretching through front of that left hip. Good, and from here we're gonna head to camel. So keep the grip of your hands really tight and start to lift up the toes that are on the ground. When you lift them up, slide all the way down until that knee is gently on the earth. Good. So once you're kneeling down, you've got that right thigh captured inside the fabric. We're gonna take a nice half camel pose. So sometimes I'll tuck the back toes purposely to give myself a couple of extra inches. So I'm taking my right hand, grabbing the left strand, and then left hand to that left heel. So nice, easy half camel. Good. Gripping up high. Bring your left hand to the right strand now. So we're crossing to the other. And then right hand goes to a twisted camel variation. Beautiful. Grip both hands up high again. The tight grip. So what we're gonna do is lower ourselves down onto the back and we're gonna keep this right ankle captured. So I grip on tight, my left foot steps forward, and then I just continue to slide fabric down through, slip past the calf onto the ankle, and then you're on your back, you've got your right foot captured, you're good. I turn my toes out to the side to lock it in place. So then hands are on the floor by my hips. I lift this left foot up to the sky, and then try to lift the hips off the ground once you get there. Good, hips back to the earth, leg to the earth. Let's go 4 more of those. Left leg up, hips down, leg down. Here's 3. 2. And 1. Beautiful. So from here, we'll take that left leg straight up to the sky. This time hips stay down. And just grabbing onto that leg, let's give it a gentle pull inward. You can take a moment if you want to play with pulling so far in that the hips want to lift off the ground. You can feel what that does to your body. But ultimately, I want you to return hips back down, kind of keeping the leg in that deep of a stretch. Good, and we'll head to a gentle twist. You can keep the leg straight or you can bend it, it's your preference. The left leg will head to the right. You get to play around with exactly where the twist is happening. If I bend the leg that's in the fabric, it kind of shifts it a little bit higher. If the leg is straight, it goes lower, so it's more like a hip, side of hip, thigh opener. Good, hip back down. And then we're gonna come all the way out because we have all that to do on the second side. So free out your foot, a little crunch to grab the fabric, and then try to use your arm strength to pull you all the way up to stand. Okay, so everything's starting with left ankle in. Once we're there, you can either slide hands down or slide hands up and do the splits. Good, return over your body. Turn your toes to the right side, hips are starting to pivot to that right side. Once you're there, left hand slides down, right hand slides up. Yep, I usually go,
I'm like, further back.
Yeah. I usually go to the front of my body side, yeah. Good. And then this is the one you choose if you're going all the way to side splits, or if you prefer just to stay a nice, easy triangle pose. Not necessarily always easy though. Sometimes this is already deep. Oh, is it? Love it. Okay, weight over your standing leg. Slip it down to your knee. We're trying out the tree pose. Even if it's just toes touching, that's okay. Whatever you can do. If you need to scoot close, that's fine. Maybe hands to heart. Maybe eyes closed if you want to try for it. Good. Start to open up the arms, setting up your tricep already. Once you're there, lunge forward to that side. Good. One more good inhale. Exhale, grab on. One hand to each strand and then rotate onto those back toes. We're in that deep lunge forward, warrior one. Then we're gonna ease our way to camel. So grip on tight, lift up your back toes, lowering onto that knee. And then we're starting off with left hand over to right side. Maybe tuck the toes if you want that couple of inches. And then right hand to right heel. If you're easily there, you can kind of push the hips toward the front of the room. That'll deepen the experience. Good. Right hand reaches up, grabs left strand. From there, left hand down. Good. Rotating up, grip nice and tight each side. From there, step the other foot forward so that you can continue to lower all the way down to your back, catching the foot. Right leg extends long, hands are on the floor by the hips. And let's lift right leg up. And then hips. Down and down. Yep, adjustments are fine. Sometimes the first time it takes a moment. When you're ready for 4, lift the leg and then hips. Down and down. Here's 3. 2. And 1. Beautiful. Leg up to the sky so that we can pull it in for that hamstring. We'll head to the twist, bent knee or straight leg, your preference. Good. Returning down. Free your foot out. Do a little crunch to grab the fabric. We'll come back up to stand. We've got enough time for one more inversion here, so we'll do the straddle back inversion, very similar to the one that we did earlier with the fabric in our low back. So you're gonna take the fabric around your shoulders, similar to what we did earlier, and then it's your thumbs that help to pull the fabric, making it stick right across the sacrum. From there, just one foot steps back. Bend the knees so that you can lean back like that tabletop. You keep that pressure so that the fabric does not rise. 2 or 3 tiny baby steps forward. Take this under plumb line. Good. And then all you have to do is kind of simultaneously hands up and knees wide. Good. Wrap the ankles and then you're safe to let go. Good. So this is kind of our last little bit of the day, so take as long as you want in this inversion. Whenever you feel ready to come out, you're welcome to head to your Shavasana, just relaxing in the hammock. But until you reach that point, really enjoy this. Let your spine go, let your neck go, all sorts of goodies for the body. Just getting to completely and totally enjoy this. Back for a moment, just resting into it. I'll give your head some time to get back. Sometimes it does that. So literally, this is your time. Take as long in the inversion as you like. This is literally no rush. This is up to you. When you are ready for your Shavasana, my recommendation, do a little mental scan for your system, just like how we started class, just helping everything progressively relax. But literally no rush. If you're still upside down, give your body the entire inversion that it wants. Here we'll begin to deepen our inhales. Our exhales. Introduce little movements back to the body, fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Sometimes it's fun to take a fetal position up to one side, so you keep the body long, but you rock onto one hip. And then from there, you can go back and forth between curling in like a tight little ball and then arcing your spine back. So if you're doing that, take it maybe 3 times or so to one side, then flip around to do 3 or so to the other side. Only when the body feels really good, you'll start to make your way toward a comfortable seated position. And joining hands together in front of the heart, we take a moment to scan through our system again, just noticing if anything has shifted since the beginning of class. Maybe some tension that we were physically carrying has relieved itself. Maybe there was some emotional stuff that we were carrying that feels a little bit lighter. Or maybe other areas of our being that kind of resolved themselves a little bit. So with this sense of just feeling a little bit lighter to help lead us on toward this marvelous finish to the day and the next few days, let's allow ourselves to wrap up the time we got to share together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. Om. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.